I want to talk to you on things you need to consider before you quit anything. I'm going to talk to you about 3 things to consider. This is a part 1 of a series. I'll be doing a part 2 of 3 other things, but I want just to deal with 3 of them at this moment. Because in life, there are times you came to a place where you feel this thing is not working. I need to walk away. I mean, this relationship is not working. This job is not working. This project that I have is not working. This commitment that I put myself on, this is actually not working. And sometimes making a decision to walk away can be very, very tough. But eventually, maybe you actually decide to do it. The truth of the matter is, before you actually do it, there are things that you need first and foremost to consider. It is important for me to emphasize that when you are in something that is destroying you, you don't want to stay there for too long. But then before you make the move to actually go, or before you make the move to actually quit or walk away or stop whatever it is that you're doing, there are 3 things that I want to share with you that you need to actually consider. Number 1, you need to start by first and foremost evaluating alternatives. In other words, you need to assess whether there are any changes you can make to improve the situation before you actually make the move or you decide to move. You see, whenever you are in a scenario that has become very difficult, before you make the decision, I need to actually walk away, or I need to close shop, or I need to do whatever it is that I need to stop this, there are things that you must put in place. Evaluate whether there are other alternatives. Is there anything that I can be able to do to improve this? Is there anything that I can be able to do to make this thing better? Is there anything that I can do to be able to actually revive this situation to make it actually good? Because you see, when you consider the things, or when you consider what needs to be done as an alternative, most likely you might end up finding yourself coming up with an idea that will actually save a project that probably you have already invested in for a long time, or save a relationship that you have been in for many, many years. You see, when you have actually made a big investment, you have been in this marriage for many years, or you have been in this relationship, or you've been in this project, you have even been in this job for so long, and you come to a place where you're feeling this is becoming difficult. Before you make the move of walking away or saying bye-bye, you need to ask yourself, is there an alternative? Is there something else that I can be able to do to actually make this thing better, or to make this thing work out? There are ways. If it is a relationship, could it be possible if I went for counseling? Maybe this is going to help. If it is a project, is it possible if I brought in some expertise on this, maybe it could actually help to make it better? If it is a job, if I actually was able to change the way the environment is, or change the place in one way or the other, would it actually make it better? Now, you need to understand alternatives could be available if you consider them. So evaluate them, look for them, and ask yourself, what is it that I can do to actually change this? The other thing is, you need to consider before you make the move of quitting or walking away, is that you need to start planning ahead. Ensure you have a plan for what comes next. You see, there is nothing as destructive, or there is nothing as unfortunate as when you hastily move out of something, either because you got offended or because something went wrong, and without even thinking, emotionally you just made the move and left. That is a disaster. You see, there are people who have left their blessing. There are people who have left jobs. There are people who have left ministries. There are people who have left very important things because in a spur of a moment, they either got offended, or somebody said something that was wrong and they decided to quit. That kind of quitting is a foolish kind of quitting, and that kind of a quitting is a dangerous kind of a quitting. You see, when you seriously want to make a change, or when you seriously want to quit something that has probably been toxic, or is affecting you health-wise, or it's not working out very well for you, or it's just messing you up, once you are in that kind of a position, you need to now start planning ahead. You need to start thinking, okay, fine, I'm about to leave this, but what is going to be happening to me tomorrow? After I leave, what is the way forward? After I leave, what is my game plan? Because you see, if you just leave and you don't have a game plan, or you leave and you don't have something that you have already planned plan for ahead, what is going to happen to you is that you're going to be destroyed and you're going to be in more trouble than you are in right now. So you need to ensure you know what comes next. You need to ensure you get yourself a new job if you have to get a new job. For example, if you're in business and the business is not doing so well, yet it is out of that business that you've been feeding from, you've been paying your bills, you've been taking care of yourself. Now this time comes and you need to close shop. What happens next? Because you see, tomorrow the demands will still be there. The bills will still need to be paid. The things you have been doing and the money you have been spending from this particular business, the demands will still be there. So what does that actually tell me? Or what does that mean? It means that before I close shop, before I walk away, before I say enough, it is over, before that happens, I need to secure myself something else. I need to find whether I can do another job or I can do another business, I can do something else. And that is why, by the way, this is just a by the way, that is why it is always good to develop a habit where you are having multiple streams of income. You need to start creating different places where you can be able to make money from, so that if you have to close on one side, you still have other streams from other sides. You need to make more than 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 kind of streams of jobs. Do things here and there, places where money is coming from, because when that happens for you, when you have to quit one or you have to drop one, then you will be fine. So what am I saying? Before you make your move to stop doing whatever you're doing, to quit whatever it is that you're doing, or to actually walk away, before you make that move, you need to plan ahead. And finally, and this is part one, I'll do another part two where I'll give 3 more. But the third one today, finally, is that you need to seek advice. You need to talk to people, talk to trusted friends, talk to family members, talk to mentors, talk to professionals who can provide perspective and give advice in as far as whatever it is that you're quitting is concerned, or whatever it is that you want to go is concerned. Before you make a move and say, I'm leaving this, let there be somebody else who hears your story. Let there be somebody else who gives you counsel and gives you advice. Because the truth of the matter is, sometimes you may want to quit something, not because you cannot make it, but it's because probably you are misinformed, or maybe you're missing out in something that is important, and somebody will just speak it to you, and when they speak it to you, you will be like, wow, okay, that is true. Actually, that is actually true. I did not consider that. And suddenly you find yourself back on track. It is always good to seek somebody who can advise you. It is always good to get some professional input in whatever it is that you're doing before you make that move. If it's a relationship, before you leave your spouse, before you leave that person, before you break that relationship, seek counsel from somebody. Get a family member, get a counselor, get a mentor, get a friend, get somebody you can trust and share out with, and tell them, you know what, I'm going through this and this and this and this, and I need some advice. The truth is, there are people who will advise you, and not only that, there are people who will actually even pray with you. Because the truth of the matter is, sometimes what you need is prayer before anything else. There are times you just need to have somebody who will speak the word of God to you, who will speak life to you, who will encourage you through prayer, who will tell you there is hope. There are times you just need that. So what am I saying? In moments like that, before you actually walk away, before you quit, you need to consider speaking to somebody you can trust. You need to seek some advice from somebody. You need to ask somebody's opinion in as far as your move is concerned. Don't make a move before you have inquired, because if you make a move and you don't have counsel, if you make a move and you don't have advice, it will be so sad when you are out there and the rains and the storms and the thunders are hitting on you, and people are looking at you and they're asking themselves, why didn't you at least talk to me? If it's a family member, why don't you talk to us? We are here for you. The truth is, people will always be there for you. Never dismiss people and say people don't care. You may have had an encounter with somebody who doesn't care, but that is just that person. Don't consider or conclude that everybody is like that particular individual. There are people who are out there simply because they have been given to help you, to hold your hands, to walk with you, and remove you from the quagmire that is causing you to want to quit at this particular time. What am I basically trying to tell you at this moment? Before you make your move to quit, it is important to consider those things that I have just mentioned to you. Otherwise, thank you so much. This is part one. I'll be giving you part two on 3 other things that you need to consider before you quit. God bless you so much. If you're here for the very first time, you have not subscribed, go ahead and do that right now. And remember, let us meet in the field of the millionaires, because that's where you and I belong. I believe in prosperity, and I know God is going to prosper you as He is prospering me. Otherwise, thank you so much. Have a wonderful rest of your time, and let's meet in the next video. God bless you. Bye.